welcome here. I have so much to do today, and I figured while I am doing all of these things, I would take you along. I find it really interesting to know what someone is up to in any given day, but I feel like especially in a day where they are trying to be productive. What do you put your time towards? How do you spend it? What do you like doing? What's kind of a bit of a task? So thank you for joining me today. I'm tightening up the screws on our thrifted stool. If you are new here, then you would not know how important stools are in the house. I have 5 kids, and I would say 3 of them are quite short to the counter, so stools are very necessary. Something that I wanted to do today was reorganize our kitchen counter a little bit. So this area here is kind of our main kitchen counter. This is where we do most of our prepping and cooking and baking. So I'm going to organize it a little bit, but I was looking at my basil plant, and my basil plant is sad. And I figure a lot of my herbs live much better in water, and I would just try this out and see how this goes. So I'm removing the basil from the dirt itself, and I'm cleaning some of the dirt off. I'll do that later in a second here, as well as trim the roots. If the roots are too long, my plants just in general are unhappy. So I like trimming the roots. It just encourages them to grow and thrive well and absorb water and nutrients too. In this case, more water than nutrients, since I am removing them from the soil, but I put them in here about a week ago, since I am now doing the voiceover, and they are actually doing really, really well. So if you have a basil plant and it's just not thriving in dirt, give it its best chance. Put it in a bit of water. I am pleasantly surprised how well mine is holding up. This is a classic spring day, so enjoy the sun coming and going as I go about my day. I am wiping down these counters and cupboards. If you didn't see one of my previous videos, this is how I clean the underside of my cupboards. They get so gross just because, again, this is our main food prepping area. So I have to really bend over and give those a good scrub, as well as everything else. If you don't do Swedish sponge towels, what are you doing? I mean, I grew up with just regular knit cloths, and they were awesome. But the Swedish sponge towel just goes. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I can't get enough of it. I also really want to tackle this toaster. It is not plugged in. That's my bread machine that's plugged in, so no one freak out. But I'm taking a wire kind of brush scrubber. I'm going in the outside of the toaster itself because there's so many crumbs that just chill out there. And then I also just have a lot of burnt bread and food on the top of the toaster. And my favorite way to tackle this is a wet paper towel and baking soda and just going over it over and over and over and over, making sure that you don't really let too much baking soda fall into the toaster itself. You can shake that out in the end as well, but it is just the best way to scrub and bring your toaster back to life. You can see what I've done and what I still need to do. Pretty good, hey? This toaster is so cute. It's on my Amazon storefront if you want to check it out, and that's linked down below. It's just such a happy, pretty color in our kitchen, and I really like it. P.S. I have been on a huge craving journey of Subway, and I really like Subway, but I decided instead of going out and feeding a family of 7 for takeout is an absolutely ridiculous task to take upon yourself. It's not leaving the house, that's not what it is. It's just the expense of it. It's insane. So it's so much cheaper and better for us if I can make it at home. So I'm going to make us some Subway melts. I have my quick burger bun recipe, and if you don't know what that is, I can link it down below. All I did different was add in thyme, a little bit of chopped up rosemary, and some parsley, as well as a tiny tiny bit of pepper, and I'm going to shape these into 2 loaves. These are going to be my footlongs, you could say. I think the next time I do this, I might shape it into more like 3 loaves, maybe make it a little bit skinnier. But these are delicious. They're really easy to make. It's foolproof, and I'm going to brush it with some butter because if I'm making bread, girl's gonna brush it with some butter, put it in the oven, and this will be our lunch. Sponsoring this portion of today's video and giving me and my husband a really good night's sleep. Birch creates mattresses that are made with sustainably sourced organic and natural materials. Basically, just think of Birch as like your healthiest mattress option. They are made without polyurethane foams, which can cause harmful off-gassing, and they're also free from fiberglass, and which, if you didn't know, fiberglass really not too good for your health. There's so many reasons why me and my husband chose Birch as our mattress. Number 1 is allergies, particularly my husband. He has a lot of them, and honestly, if you're sleeping on something for how many hours every single night, it can actually be worsening your allergies. So I love Birch because it's hypoallergenic. Going back to fiberglass, none of Birch's mattresses contain fiberglass. Instead, they use 100% wool, not just wool, organic wool, so it's naturally flame resistant. I also have temperature issues. Sometimes I'm really warm, sometimes I'm cold, sometimes I'm sweaty, and I'm just all over the place. I find Birch is really good at regulating my body temperature, keeping me very comfortable when I'm sleeping. I ordered the Birch Luxe Natural Mattress. It's as fancy as it sounds. It's a premium upgrade to their other well-loved mattress, the Birch Natural Mattress. With your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial as well as a 25-year warranty. You heard me straight. The best part is Birch delivers it right to your door in a box. It really does make mattress buying as convenient as possible. And when you buy a Birch mattress, it comes with 2 Eco-Rest pillows. Since we're friends, I care about you and I care about your sleep. Therefore, I think a Birch mattress would be a perfect companion to your nighttime rest. You can get 20% off your own Birch mattress as well as 2 free Eco pillows when you go to my link down below. This link is literally just for a limited time only, and it's for my viewers. Again, that link is down below. This is classic me. As soon as I have bread baking in the oven, I grab my bread machine bin and start another loaf or another set of something. So I'm just doing a regular sourdough loaf here. I feel like I am just overwhelmed with the amount of discard that I have. So I've been doing a lot of discard bread and baked goods recipes, and that goes right down to even my sourdough sandwich loaf. I use my KVS bread machine to knead this together. That's in my Amazon storefront. It just makes it so much easier, hands-free, and I'm not into the stand mixer game yet. I really like my bread machine, and so yeah, he's gonna hang out on my counter and do my work for me while I tackle my dishes. This is my least favorite chore to do probably ever. I literally would rather scrub a toilet than do my dishes, but at the same time, it is so satisfying. I'm going to take a break, put some butter onto my loaves, stick them back in, and then keep going at these dishes. I just feel like with 7 of us, dishes, it'll just never end, and I need to accept that. I also need to accept that my camera lens is really foggy today, and I hope you can accept that too. I'm going to brush more butter onto my buns, and it smells so good. I'm gonna put a tea towel on top. That just helps to further soften it with its own heat, and then we're ready to get these started. So for the kids, I got them to split one. It is gonna be Havarti. We have some turkey, a little bit of ham, some homemade mayonnaise, and I'm going to put that on and actually broil it. For me and my husband's, we're gonna do a bit more of a traditional Subway melt, which is the meat, the cheese, the bacon, and then whatever other extras you wanna put on top. We really like sandwiches around here. I remember so many people talking to them kind of early on into my motherhood journey saying, you know what, some days you just gotta do sandwiches, and almost speaking about it negatively. And honestly, for us, we do sandwiches every single day proudly. It's affordable, it's super yummy, and everyone eats it. Sometimes it's so hard to get everyone to enjoy a single meal, but sandwiches, they don't let me down. They don't fail me. So you can see Kieran's at the top. Kieran's sandwich is at the top. He has Havarti on his. I'm going for a Swiss, not only because I prefer the flavor, but it's lactose free. I'm going to stick those in the oven with some basil and then also chop up tomato to put onto them. These are just so good. They were huge though, but you better believe it. We ate all of it and almost wish we had some left over to eat again because, they are so good. And you know what? Right now it's like almost 11 o'clock at night while I'm filming this, and I'm already thinking about tomorrow, and I think this is what I want for tomorrow for my lunch because sandwiches are so good. Don't knock sandwiches. There's too many people that knock the simple things, sandwiches, macaroni and cheese. This is good stuff, you guys. So my kids already ate. Me and Kieran get to sit now and have our sandwiches. And then once we're full, we'll continue on with our day. I am just as excited as you that my hair can mildly fit back like this using a claw clip. It feels like it's just been so long since I've been able to do this with my hair. My postpartum hair loss after my 5th baby just hit me really hard, and the regrowth was crazy. So I cut my hair to my regrowth length, and it's a little bit wild, but we're working through it and we're finally getting somewhere. And putting my hair back in a claw clip just felt so good today. So my bread machine, because I use it constantly and it's a close friend of mine, I need to take care of it so it can properly take care of me. I don't wash it as often as I should. I also probably don't take care of it as well as I should as I'm making bread and loading it, but this thing is a beast and always has my back. So I'm going to give it a really good scrub and wipe down and then tackle some other areas of the kitchen, such as my knife block. This thing gets dusty within days, so I find myself wiping it often. I also have some other appliances. Kieran has coffee stuff. I'm giving that a little bit of a wipe down. And our Wonder Oven, which is wonderful. I find just dust gets everywhere, and I just clean it. And then there's dust there again. This is something where if the kids are able, I will get them to do dusting on the lower sections of the kitchen. But at this point, I actually sent them to go do baseboard dusting through the rest of the house while I tackled the kitchen. P.S. I do have my earbuds in because I like listening to books or podcasts if I'm really kind of knee deep into some sort of a project or I'm getting into a zone. And it's lovely for me. I really enjoy listening to things as I work. I'm also cleaning the inside of our utensil drawers because the amount of dust and hair and food and whatnot that gets stuck in here is wild. So I'm also cleaning the inside of the dividers and organizers themselves. I did take a vacuum into here. I used a wet cloth and some cleaner, wiped it all down, got it super duper clean. And these are our utensil drawers. This is what they look like. Pretty organized, pretty good. They serve us very well. Through these nicer seasons and beautiful days, we have a rule, and it's basically if it's a nice day and it's lunchtime, you're eating it outside. The reason that we do that is because there's so much mess that happens in the house constantly, and telling the kids to eat outside means the mess stays outside, and it's so beautiful to only have to clean the kind of kitchen area twice a day versus 3 times a day. So I am giving it a good clean because no one has made a mess, I have this fire under my pants and I'm like, I'm just gonna get this done. So I'm wiping things down, I'm vacuuming, I'm emptying the vacuum, and then I wanna tackle the wall here. So this is also our homeschool area, and it is such a blessing that we get to both eat and learn here, but we get pencil marks all over these walls. The best way to remove them for me without ruining the paint is with a teeny bit of baking soda and warm water. I've seen people use steamers and cleaners, and I've also seen videos of it getting a little out of hand and it ruins the wall or the paint. And I find if you just have a light hand with baking soda and take your time, it doesn't scrub the paint off. It just gives it a really good clean. But speaking of painting, I was thinking I need to do just another coat of touch-up paint through this area because we went for kind of that lighter sand, peachy color. And while this color is so beautiful, it takes a little bit of maintenance for sure. So that's something that we are definitely looking at. We also have in this bench, and I've showed you guys this before, we have these amazing storage drawers. This is where crafts go, puzzles go, games go. What else do we have in here? Kinetic sand, Play-Doh. This is an area where we just put a lot of the kids' stuff. I like it because it's accessible for the kids, and it's also a little bit out of the way of other things. So you have to usually move the table out of the way to get to some of these. So it is a little bit, out of the way. But it's not so much out of the way that it's annoying to get to. It doesn't stop the kids from grabbing certain things. So I'm just going through here, organizing and tidying. I decided to put the kinetic sand in with the Play-Doh because I had enough room, and then make that other drawer into maybe another game drawer or a homeschool drawer. But this is what everything looks like right now. You can kind of see where the table sits. So it does stop some of the drawers from coming out easily, but again, I really like it. We're getting close to dinner time, but before dinner starts, what I need to do is do some more pickled red onion. If you haven't seen this video, I can link it down below. I feature a bunch of store-bought priced and ingredient items versus a homemade substitution, and I feature this recipe. It's basically red onion, some sugar, some salt, and some apple cider vinegar with boiling hot water. It is the easiest way to quick pickle your red onions, and you don't have to be a canning pickling whiz to do it. You can be very new to it and do a great job. For dinner, we're going to do some salmon rice bowls because it's quick and easy. Rinse your rice, people. I'm going to rinse my sushi rice until the water runs clear. And then while that's going, I'm going to cut up my salmon. This is a non-farmed salmon. I still have the skin on. I have deboned it as best as I can. I know, Dad, I can't debone it as good as you. One of us got a bone, but I tried my best. And while the salmon is just kind of hanging out and getting to a bit of a room temperature, I thought I would tackle my fridge. My fridge, I say this all the time, it needs to be just as tidy as any other place in my home. Maybe even tidier because of the amount that we go into it. And if a fridge is tidy, stuff is used well, stuff is found easily, and then it's also just naturally kept tidier than if you didn't do that. I also realized I had a frozen peanut butter square that I could still have. That's my last one. It's so good. The salmon is in the oven with some olive oil and sesame oil. My rice is almost done. I am adding some sushi rice seasoning to my rice, and I'm giving it a good fluff with my rice paddle. I'm going to put that at the table. We're in a bit of a rush, you can tell. I have things like cucumber, avocado, I have some homemade ginger, pickled ginger, some green onion. All this stuff is gonna get chopped up and put on the table to dress our bowls with. I also have been playing with salt recently. I have been trying to salt and not salt certain foods depending on how I'm cooking them, when I'm cooking them. Do I want to salt it before or after? And for my salmon, I decided to salt it after. I was like, is this gonna make that much of a difference? Some people said if you salt it before, it can dry out. And it's true. This was a more tender, moist salmon, I guess you could say, than usual. So salting it after was actually a really good idea. I'm gonna chop up some lemon, get my lemon juicer, and we're ready to make these bowls. I have everything on it because I just like everything. Edmund always goes for his rice first, and then we'll top things like sesame oil, sriracha, sometimes a hoisin sauce on top. And then we all get to sit together and just enjoy dinner together as a family. I love these moments of just sitting down and enjoying these meals together. It's amazing. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.